Good morning students, this is Papiya, science teacher of Ananda Multimedia School and College, English version. How are you? I wish and pray that all of you are very well and safe. I am fine too. Today we will discuss chapter 2, cells and tissues of organisms. In this chapter we have decided to discuss about the phloem, and in my previous class I have finished about the definition of phloem, functions of phloem and sieve tubes, and in today's lesson we will discuss about the companion cells, Phloem Parenchyma and Phloem Fiber. Before starting the discussion, I want to share one thing, that means we want to discuss about the structure of phloem. In my previous class I have drawn the structure, and in today's class also I will discuss about the structure in brief. Okay, let's get started. Now we will see the longitudinal section of phloem and the transverse section of phloem. What is this? This is the longitudinal section of phloem. In this section, what we will see first? At first, we have to look over this structure, the long tube-like structure. This is the sieve plate or sieve tube. I will say not sieve plate. This is the sieve tube or sieve cells. This is the major conducting cell in phloem. And beside this is the companion cell. Always with one sieve tube, one companion cell will present to give this cell company, and it has no nucleus, and the companion cell has a large nucleus. It is turgid, that means fill up with protoplasm. Okay, thin-walled parenchymatous cells, and this one is Phloem Parenchyma, and this is also thin-walled with protoplasm and with comparatively smaller nucleus, and these are the sieve plates. This is the longitudinal section of phloem. Should I repeat? This is sieve tube or sieve cell. This one is companion cell with larger nucleus, turgid protoplasm. And this one is Phloem Parenchyma with a comparatively smaller nucleus. And there is also a structure. This is not mentioned in your textbook, and it should be mentioned, and this one is Phloem Fiber, and it remains surrounded, and it is surrounded with the companion cell. This is Phloem Fiber, and you can see this in the plants with secondary growth. Okay students, what is secondary growth? Secondary growth you will find it in the woody plants, and I will say that this is the outgrowth of the plants which makes the plant thicker and wider. And what is mechanical support? That means mechanical support means it is a protection which protects cells from external injury and shock. Okay students, now we will discuss about the characteristic features of the remaining part of our previous lessons. That means the companion cells, the Phloem Parenchyma, okay, and Phloem Fiber. Okay students, now we will discuss the different parts of phloem. What is the sieve tube? You know, those spatially organized, highly organized cells of which are related to conduction of the nutrients in the phloem is known as the sieve tube. Today I will discuss about the companion cell, Phloem Parenchyma and Phloem Fiber, and also excretory tissues. And what is Phloem Fiber or bast fiber? Okay. What is companion cell? From the name you can guess about the companion cell. Shongi kosh, companion, always remains with the, which one? Sieve tube or sieve cell. For this I have to draw roughly the sieve tube. These are the sieve tubes. And I will draw 1, 2, 3, 4, Students, can you remember the 11 brinjal chops and 2 green chilies? This is that structure. Okay, these are what? Nutrient, and this is sieve tube or sieve cell, and this one with a comparatively smaller nucleus is the Phloem Parenchyma. Phloem Parenchyma. This is companion cell with comparatively larger nucleus. So this is companion cell, and I should draw this because this looking quite incomplete. So this is a rough drawing of the phloem tissue, longitudinal section. Okay. What is this sieve cell or sieve tube? This one phloem parenchyma, this one companion cell. And where is the phloem fiber? This is not given in your book, and this area is known as the phloem fiber. I am making this zone darker to understand. This darker area is known as what? Phloem fiber. PF. I am writing shortly. This is P and F. Phloem fiber. Now, companion cell. Can you define companion cell? Think about the structure. Don't need to memorize. Students, think about the structure. This is companion cell. How does it look, and what is its function? If you think about this, you can write all the things like definition, characteristic features, and also functions. This is companion cell, and we will talk about this. Companion cell, this is a special type of parenchyma cells, and these are abnormally elongated. Okay, fill up with turgid with protoplasm with a larger nucleus. So I have written like this definition of companion cells. I have written in short form and also in small size. And if you follow my lecture, you can write all this. Don't need to concentrate about my writing. Just concentrate on my sayings. Okay. Companion cells, the special type of parenchymatous cells or parenchyma cells which are found in association with the sieve tubes, which are found in association with the sieve tubes is known as companion cells. They always remain with the sieve tube, with each sieve tube, each companion cells, giving him company. Now the characteristic feature. Think about this and look over this. Characteristic features. It is abnormally elongated cells, pointed tips, turgid with protoplasm with larger nucleus, and also I have written like this. Parenchymatous cells, thin wall, abnormally elongated. Clear? Now, turgid with protoplasm, I have told large nucleus, yes, large nucleus, and always associated with the sieve tube. And you know, students, the wall of the companion cell is more or less pitted. That means with small pores or small holes, and with the wall pits, it remains connected. It remains connected with the sieve tube. That means on the wall of the companion cell there are pits, holes, cavities, and with the help of these cavities they remain connected with the sieve tube. And it is assumed that the nucleus of the companion cells sometimes, and I say that most of the time, controls the flow of the nutrients of the neighboring cells. That means the sieve tubes. So it controls the nucleus of the companion cells just controls some activities, controls the flow of the nutrients of the seed tube, and it is found in angiosperms and not found in ferns and gymnosperms. These all about the characteristic features of the companion cells. Always give company the seed tube. And what is its function? It delivers ATP, nutrients, and also different types of proteins to its neighboring seed tubes. It manages the flow of nutrition through the seed tube, and also it maintains the viability, that means the capacity to survive. It is related with the survival of the seed tubes. It manages the viability and the long distance translocation of the seed tubes. Long distance translocation of the seed tubes. It is controlled, it is managed by the companion cells. Clear? And in your textbook, I think very minimum information is given so that you can answer your creative questions. For answering it properly, that means when something comes in the question number D, then you have to know something more about the phloem that is given to your textbook. For this reason, what should you do? You should know little bit more. You should remember one thing, that the origin of companion cell and the origin of seed tube is same. That means they are derived from the same mother cell. They are derived from the same mother cell. Suppose this is the mother cell, and in the mother cells there is a unequal division. For this unequal division, one cell becomes quite larger than the other. Suppose this is the larger cell and this is the smaller cells, and this larger cell in future after further division it gives rise the seed tube, and the smaller cell give rise the companion cells. So they are in the same origin. There may be some question about the, suppose in the figure it is marked as X and it is marked as Y, and in the D you have asked to write about the origin of the X and Y. Then how can you write if you don't know about the origin? So what happens, there is a unequal division in the mother cell, and after this unequal division the larger cell give rise the seed tube and the smaller one give rise the companion cell. So they are from the same origin. Okay, and the companion cell also some function like they store and supply. What does it mean? That means when there is excess nutrition, the flow of nutrition is more in the seed tube, then the companion cell stores some foods. And when there is shortage of nutrition in the seed tubes, they supply this through the pores of the wall. So it also stores and supply. So I can say that there are four functions. Number one is deliver ATP proteins and other nutrients, manage the flow of nutrition of the seed tube, and maintain the viability and long distance translocation system of the enucleate. Enucleate means, E means nucleusless. This is nucleusless, enucleate seed tube. And stores and supplies, that means in shortage is supply, and when it is excessive, the food is excessive, it stores. Okay, and this is the origin of the, I have also discussed about the origin of the companion cell and the seed tube. Now students, can you differentiate between seed tube and companion cell? It's very easy. Think about this, about structure. Don't need to memorize. I am repeating again and again. Structure of the seed tube, how does it look? Elongated structure, and this one is abnormally elongated with pointed tips. And in the sieve tube, there is no nucleus. Companion cell, there is larger nucleus. This present in all angiosperms. This is absent in gymnosperm and ferns. So I have told you three difference between these two cells. Now we will discuss about the phloem parenchyma or transfer cell. Phloem parenchyma. From the name you can define the definition. How? Group of parenchyma, phloem parenchyma. Parenchyma in the phloem is known as phloem parenchyma. So group of parenchyma cells associated in the phloem is known as phloem parenchyma. Phloem parenchyma, that means parenchyma in the phloem. So write quite nicely, group of parenchyma cells in the phloem or group of parenchyma cell associated with the phloem is known as phloem parenchyma. Clear? Yes. Now characteristic features. Where is the phloem parenchyma, students? This is the phloem parenchyma, and please characterize how cells when we in a longitudinal section, it is the cells of the phloem parenchyma are rectangular or long or elongated, but in cross section it looks quite rounded or circular. Okay, and it remains outside the companion cell and sieve tube. Look, outside, quite outside of the companion cell and sieve tube, and I have written just like this, and you will find these cells, and this is also thin walled and with protoplasm and comparatively smaller nucleus than the companion cell. Write yourself as you wish and just seeing the structure. I am repeating. In longitudinal section, the cells are quite elongated or rectangular. In cross section, it is rounded with a smaller nucleus, thin walled protoplasm, as it is parenchymatous in nature, so it should be thin walled and with protoplasm. And the next point is with a smaller nucleus, and I have written just like this, and remains outside the companion cell and sieve tube. Yes, it is. Where does it remain? It remain outside the companion cell and sieve tube, and I have written like this. Students, now read with me. The cells of the phloem parenchyma are parenchymatous in nature, with protoplasm, with nucleus located outside the sieve tube and companion cell, and found ferns, gymnosperms, angiosperms, but absent in monocots. And sometimes, what is this function? Can you see? Conduction and storage. Conduction means translocation, transportation of nutrition, and storage means storage, and stores starch and fat. Sometimes it stores starch, fats, and sometimes resins and tannins also. Okay, these are the function of phloem parenchyma. Is it easy? Now, phloem fiber or bast fiber. What do you mean by phloem fiber or bast fiber? Definition. Students, always when read a new topic, you just remember the previous topic. That means in the structure of the phloem, there are 4 structures. Number 1 was what? Sieve tube. It was specialized cells, highly organized, and this one, highly organized cells which are associated with the conduction, and this is the major conducting tissue of phloem. This one. Then companion cell, abnormally elongated with larger nucleus, thin wall, parenchymatous, turgid with protoplasm, always associated, always remains, always attached, whatever you wish you can write with, associated with the sieve tube. And now this one, rectangular cell, thin wall with protoplasm, comparatively smaller nucleus located outside the companion cell and the sheath tube. Okay, this is the Phloem Parenchyma. Now phloem fiber, one word fiber. So if there is fiber, there may be secondary growth. Okay, so this is a point, and this is a sclerenchymatous cell. So sclerenchymatous cell in phloem is known as phloem fiber or bast fiber. Okay, and characteristic feature sclerenchymatous. Number one point is sclerenchymatous in nature. Cells are long, and you can find secondary growth in the cells. What is secondary growth? I told you before. The outgrowth of the plants, the outgrowth of the plant which give it a wider look. Okay, and cell wall is pitted. Pitted, that means with holes, and lignified due to the deposition of lignin. It becomes quite thicker, and it is also known as bast fiber. And what is the function of the phloem fiber? This is the phloem fiber around the companion cell, and it is related with the upward and downward conduction. Upward and downward conduction, that means the food materials produced in the leaf is translocated downwards, and the food deposited in the root portion also translocated upward, and it is related with both upward and downward translocation or conduction. Now we will read about another thing, that is bast fiber. What is bast fiber? The cells of phloem fiber are arranged end to end and produce and make a structure which is known as bast fiber. Example of bast fiber is the fibers of jute. And in the bast fiber, you will find the secondary growth. Okay, should I repeat? Bast fiber, the cells of phloem fiber are arranged end to end with each other and produce or make a structure which is known as bast fiber. Example of bast fiber is jute, and in the bast fiber you will find the secondary growth. And last one is excretory tissues. There may be short questions in the B. What do you mean by excretory tissue? Or it may become in C also. If in C, you should learn something. So I have written some information that you can write elaborately. What is excretory tissue? Students, from the name, you think about the definition. The tissues concerned with the excretion of different parts of the plants are known as excretory tissue. The tissues concerned with the secretion of different excretory products of plants are known as excretory tissues. Example, honey, latex, gums, resins, and volatile oil. Again, honey, latex, gums, resins, and volatile oils. Students, do you know about resins? If the question come in it is set in C, then you should write something. That's why I've written about some information about resins and gums. Resins contains essence, and it is water insoluble, and this is bad for ear and also our health. We shouldn't inhale too much the fragrance of the resins, but quite nice fragrance, I think. And gums. Gums are the disintegrated cellulose, and these gums are deposited in the vacuoles of the old xylem. And these gums are important for our paper industry, paint industry, candy, chocolates industry, chewing gum, and also in the drug industry. Okay, students? So, if you just feel any type of problem, write in the comment section. I wanna finish my lecture here. Students, I have finished the phloem, whole phloem today. Finally, I want to share one thing with you. That means the teachers of the Ananda Multimedia family, didn't stop their activities at the juncture of the country. They are working tirelessly and taking classes every day routinely. And you can evaluate their hardship if you study a lot at home and ask it out to you. I believe in you, all of you. You will read carefully, attentively. Okay, students? So, till today, take care, keep watching. See you later.